Okay, so for a while now, I've seen a few interesting opinions, shall we say, going around the internet concerning animation and just cartoons in general. And today, well, I'm going to talk about a few of these opinions. I'm going to say how I agree with some of them and largely disagree with, well, quite a few others. So yes, today I am reacting to weird opinions and hot takes online about animation and cartoons. And hey, if this video does well, then I might make another video in the future, so please, leave your opinion or hot take down in the comment section below. Now with the preamble out the way, let's not waste any more time and jump straight into it, with probably the biggest hot take that I've seen floating around the internet for quite a while now. With that hot take being that the CalArts art style sucks. And honestly, I'm just going to fold the whole bean mouth discourse into this hot take as well, because I think they're largely the same point. And really, I just don't agree with this opinion at all, because honestly, I think it's really just a very surface level thing when people look at it like this. I truly believe that people are just looking at a lot of shows today and seeing a few minor similarities between a lot of them, and then lumping them all in together as if they are just the same thing when they're really not. And I mean, this isn't a new thing, it's been happening for decades at this point. Various different shows and films have always had some minor aesthetic similarities between any era of animation. But still, once you actually look at a lot of these shows and films for long enough, you can actually see that they are very different. And I mean, it's been happening, like I said, for decades at this point, with various different areas of animation having the same discourse occur. Honestly, I think if you were to go back to the early 2000s, you could see this a lot with shows like Regular Show and Adventure Time. And as well as that, I think that you could see a lot of this with shows like X-Men and Spider-Man back in the 80s or 90s. And really, what I think that the majority of this argument just really kind of boils down to is that a lot of people see shows with very kind of simple art styles today. You can see it with like shows with Gravity Falls and shows like Star vs. The Forces of Evil. And unfortunately, I think that the problem that some audiences are having today is just that they're seeing these art styles and they've been seeing these sorts of very simple art style for quite a while now, and they're just getting a little bored of that sort of art style itself. But really, I just don't think that these audiences are seeing these shows the same way that their creators are. Because of course, the creators themselves are drawing on inspirations from anime, like with their chibi styles there, as well as previous cartoons like SpongeBob and just various different shows like that. I remember Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch even said something along those lines back on a podcast a few years ago.
There's this stupid meme about the quote-unquote CalArts style, which has literally nothing to do with CalArts. If you had to ask me, like, where does that mouth come from? That like smiley-shaped mouth with the lines through it? That is literally Homer's mouth. If you rounded the edge of it like Sailor Moon's mouth. Now take Sailor Moon's mouth and put Homer's closed teeth in there and you get that mouth. It's those generational influences. No instructor ever asked for it. No executive ever asked for it. It is a generation of artists influenced by similar things who all know each other, who work on each other's shows.
So yeah, this isn't something that I can get behind, and funnily enough, I still enjoy a lot of these shows using these sorts of art style. Animated shows don't have enough episodes per season anymore. And this is one I genuinely actually believe in and really will support. Just because, I mean, I think it's true. I don't think a lot of shows today have enough episodes per season anymore. If you go back and you look at something like Batman the Animated Series, it used to be that a single season of a show could have upwards of maybe 20 episodes per season. And I think that was great. That really gave the show a good amount of time to really introduce its characters and develop its story, and then also build a connection with the audience.
So beautiful. It's so beautiful.
However, today, we don't have that. Today, I think you have to be very kind of lucky to get upwards of maybe 8 to 10 episodes per season. And of course, there's a whole myriad of reasons for why this is right now with streaming and just all sorts of other things happening in just Hollywood and everything else. But still, just at the heart of it, I do think that this is just a really shitty situation. Because of course, the main thing is that these shows don't have enough time to properly develop their characters and stories and build a good relationship with the audience. And because of course they can't do that, it means that these shows can't bring in the audiences they need for streaming services, and then streaming services see that and they just cancel the shows. Which, yeah, I think is just kind of terrible. I don't like it at all, and really I'd like to see something change in regard to that in the future. What that is, however, and how it's going to happen, I don't know. So, yeah. Okay, moving on. Regular Show is the best cartoon from Cartoon Network. And I'm sorry, as much as I like Regular Show, I can't bring myself to say that this is an opinion that I will stand by.
What?
Unfortunately, when I think about it, there are just quite a few other Cartoon Network shows that I genuinely enjoy a bit more than Regular Show. And that's not me just being biased, okay? I'm genuinely trying to be unbiased here. And I mean it. I mean, as much as I like Teen Titans, I cannot say that that show is better than Regular Show. And that's the original Teen Titans, by the way. But yeah, just getting back to the point, I don't think that Regular Show is the best Cartoon Network show. Because of course, yeah, there are other shows. There's Ben 10, there's Adventure Time, there's Gumball, there's all sorts of things. And yeah, I mean, I like Regular Show a lot. But of course, there are other shows. I mean, there's Adventure Time, there's so many other shows as well, Foster's Home. And I mean, there's Samurai Jack, it all depends. Like, how far back do you want to go? Just what shows do you want to include? But really, I don't think that, if I was going to put a tier list together, I don't think that I could put Regular Show above something like Adventure Time. So yeah, Regular Show's great, but I don't agree. This one's a big one. Gravity Falls is overrated. Okay, sure. Maybe if I go back to the show and I have a more critical eye, I could be like, maybe that didn't age so well. But really, I don't agree with this opinion. Honestly, I think that Gravity Falls is so beloved and has really built up quite the legacy that it has, just because it is so good. I really don't think it's overrated at all. I think it is just one of those great series that did so well and is still such a great show to go back and watch, that it is just worthy of all the praise. I mean, there are still people today who are hanging on every whim and just everything that Alex puts out, hoping for a new season of the show or just a new show in general. And honestly, I think that itself should be a good indication of just how well that show did and is still doing with a lot of people today. And I mean, like, for me personally, I do occasionally go back every now and then, and I do find something that doesn't quite jive with me today, but still, beyond that, I do really enjoy the series quite a lot still. Okay, this is a big one. The romance in Avatar: The Last Airbender sucks. And yeah, this is one that I will wholeheartedly agree with. Because of course, despite how great that series is, I think that one of the worst parts of that series just has to be the romance. Really, I feel as if the creators went into the show knowing everything that they wanted to know about the show. Its magic system, its world, just everything. Everything except how to write a convincing love story. And I mean, it's just kind of a little frustrating as well when you think about it, because of course, during the show, they didn't really show a lot of that love story. I mean, yeah, we got a few moments here and there in between different episodes, and I mean, we got the Cave of Lovers episode. But beyond all that, I really didn't see much that got me all that interested in Aang and Katara as a couple. And honestly, I kind of got more attached to seeing Zuko and Mei together in that show, to be honest. And yeah, sadly, I think that this is something that the Avatar franchise has always kind of historically, struggled with, because of course, yeah, the writing for the romances didn't get any better with The Legend of Korra. And I mean, yeah, I wanted to see more gay representation in just animation in general, so seeing Korra and Masami get together would have been something nice to see. But of course, we didn't get to see it. We kind of just see them disappear into a portal and then they're gone. And yeah, you can write as many comics as you want and as many books as you want, but of course it's going to be like what happens with Star Wars. The books and everything will be there for people who want to enjoy them, but whenever the creators of a show or something come around, they're going to look at the books and they'll say, yeah, these are all neat ideas, but we don't necessarily need to hold ourselves to any of them. But still, just to get back to that initial point of the hot take in general, yeah, I agree. And yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't have to, because of course I do want to see more from these characters. I do want to see them be happy and get together and everything else, but there's just something in the writing that's never going to click quite well with the romances in these shows, so yeah.
And now for something completely different.
Okay, and now finally, just to end off this video, we're going to talk about one of my own personal opinions. One of my own little hot takes, if you will. For you see, I have many. Because of course, I myself am an animator, and of course, I go out and I review these films for a living. And my hot take is that not enough filmmakers and showmakers are willing to really explore different tones in animation. And honestly, what I mean by this is just that animated shows and movies really kind of have like a number of different tones that different creative teams can switch between. And so it's not like with live action where you can really go into anything and it will always have a different tone to it. No, I think that on some level when you go into an animated film or an animated show, you're going to get some sort of tone that you feel familiar with. And really, I think that a lot of this is down to a lot of animation people just being kind of held back a little by studios and advertisers and everything else. It's partly some of the reason why I enjoy a lot of indie productions as well. Because of course I don't think that indie productions have those sorts of restriction. They're putting themselves together, they're supporting themselves, and so they can really do whatever the hell they want and they can play with whatever tones they want for their stories. And that's great, I love that and I love to see that. But really I'd like to see a little bit more of that be brought into the wider animation industry as a whole. And just like one last thing I want to say on that subject is just that I feel like Pixar in the early 2000s really kind of fell into a trap with it, where once they became really quite popular with a lot of their original films, they kind of fell into a rhythm with what audiences expected from them as a studio. And at this point presently, I do still think that the ripple effects of that still kind of generally linger with us. Because I think that when audiences go to see a Pixar film, they generally go into the theatre with an expectation of what they're going to get out of the film. And really, I just like to see this change a little because there's a whole world of stories out there. There's so many different things you can do with a story, and I just really like to see some of those opportunities be explored with animation and storytelling in general. So yeah, everybody, those were the first few animation hot takes and weird opinions that I found online. I agreed with a few, I disagreed with some, and I gave you my own little hot take at the end. So please, if you agree with my own hot take, let me know. And if you have your own opinion or little hot take, please let me know in the comments section down below what it is. Otherwise, please don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.